When I was little, I burned out my brain saving Xueying. Before mother died, she entrusted me to him. You must listen to Xueying in everything. He is your husband, understand? I nodded, totally got it. When I was 22, I saw Xueying getting all touchy-feely with Xueying. I was so pissed I shoved that woman away. Mother said only I could hold hands with Xueying. Xueying got angry. He pushed me away and glared at me. I've put up with you for so long. You think you can just keep pushing because of our childhood bond? Get lost, go find another man. I don't want you anymore. Later I listened to him and found a new husband. But Xueying came crying after my wedding sedan. Husband, why is he crying? I was totally confused. My husband just smiled. Him. He lost his most precious thing. Of course he is gonna cry. Oh, that sucks for him. Good thing I have you, husband. Xueying left right after saying that. He held Xueying, and she looked at me with a smile on her face. I couldn't read her smile, but my gut feeling wasn't good. This is awkward. Mother once said I was Xueying's fiancé. Only he can hold your hand, hug you, share a bed with you. Back then, I was so disappointed. No one else can. No one else, no matter who it is. Only your husband can sleep by your side. Well then, I understand. But now, Xueying is holding Xueying. Xueying is his wife. So what am I? Can he have two wives? Forget it, I can't figure it out. I can only follow him. But after just a few steps, Xueying suddenly stopped. He glared at me viciously. You idiot, still don't get it. Get lost. How can there be someone as thick-skinned as you in this world? I hate you. I stood there stunned, seeing his ferocious expression, like he'd become a different person. He clearly wasn't like this before. Brother Xueying is just angry right now. You'd better not follow anymore. Either way, he is still your fiancé. He won't really abandon you, Xueying said softly, then struggled to get down. Although Ninging's mind isn't good, she is probably just jealous. I shouldn't trouble Brother Xueying. I just accidentally twisted my ankle. I can get back on my own. Xueying's expression grew even worse. He pressed Xueying into his arms, looking at me coldly. Don't go too far. The debt from back then has long been repaid. Do you want to tie me down for a lifetime? But isn't that what husband and wife should do? What husband and wife? We're not husband and wife yet. You have no shame. I don't want you. Don't want you as my wife. Don't you understand? I had just opened my mouth when his face turned red with anger. I nodded hastily in fright. I understand. I understand. I didn't follow him anymore. But I didn't know where to go. After mother passed away, I was taken in by the Chu family. At first, they all called me young madam. Later they called me Miss Chen. Xueying was also very, very good to me. When others called me an idiot, he would be the first to rush out and fight them. Until that time he hit the Prince Anne's heir and was severely beaten by the Marquis. But Xueying straightened his back, gritted his teeth, and smiled brightly. What do they know? If it weren't for Ninging, I would have died long ago. Ninging isn't stupid at all. She is smart. No one can talk about her like that. Not even the King of Heaven. The Marquis was so angry he wanted to beat him again. But fortunately Madame stopped him. After that time, Madame told me to go out less. You don't understand anything. Going out will only cause trouble. From now on, just stay with Xueying. Whatever he tells you not to do, don't do it. Mother had also said the same thing, telling me to listen to Xueying. But now Xueying doesn't want me anymore. He told me to go find another man. Where am I supposed to find one? Isn't this the little idiot from Xueying's family? A group of people blocked my way, led by the young master from the Grand Commandant's residence. He and Xueying never got along. I instinctively tried to flee, but he grabbed me by the back of my collar and threw me straight to the ground. I just saw your Xueying walk off with Xueying in his arms. What, he finally doesn't want you anymore? How about you follow me instead? Gucci squatted down and pinched my jaw. The pain made me tremble. But he got more excited and used even more force. He grabbed a handful of sand from the ground and flung it up, then turned and fled while he was caught off guard. But I hadn't gotten 2 steps before his men blocked my way. Bah, you really think he is going to marry you? You've followed him all these years. You are already 22. If he wanted to marry you, he would have done it long ago. That Xueying is just a sanctimonious hypocrite. You'd be better off being my concubine. A bit dumb, but looks good enough. Gucci's hand gripped my neck, his eyes full of vicious malice. Little fool, once I've had a taste of you, let's see what Xueying has to be so smug about. A little wife raised for 8 years, fucked by me. So stinky, I whimpered. Gucci suddenly froze. He loosened his grip slightly, and I finally got a bit of breathing room. Eat less garlic, Xueying said. Eating garlic causes bad breath, so I quit garlic. Gucci's face turned green, then white, and after glancing around, his men immediately shut their mouths. Right after, he slapped me across the face. Stinking bitch, who are you cursing? My face burned with pain. I curled up into a ball looking toward the road. Xueying said he wouldn't let anyone hurt me. Why isn't he here yet? There is no Xueying. I got beaten up by Gucci. Me whole body hurts. After the beating, he had someone stuff me into a sack to take me home. I am going to have some fun with you, teach Xueying a lesson. As the carriage passed through the busy market district, I suddenly heard a familiar voice. It was Xueying. I rammed my body against the carriage wall, but Gucci kicked me. Little fool, you want Xueying to come save you, believe it or not. Right now he'd love nothing more than for you to disappear, preferably dead. That way he wouldn't have to bear the title of your fiancée and could marry another woman. I don't believe it. Xueying would never abandon me. I knew you wouldn't believe it. How about this? I'll help you ask, Gucci said coldly. He pulled me out of the sack. Listen carefully and see what your fiancée chooses. After saying that, he lifted a corner of the carriage curtain to look out. Well, if it isn't young Master Chu, where is your little fool? Lost her? Aren't you afraid someone might bully her? I just saw her surrounded by a bunch of people. My heart jumped to my throat. Xueying must still care about me. He would discover me in the carriage, then beat up Gucci and avenge me. But I heard Xueying's voice. Stop trying to scare people here. He is just a little follower. If he is lost, then he is lost. Better if he never comes back. Gucci glanced at me with an amused look, then spoke again. The young master has such great determination, with a beauty by your side. A little fool does ruin the mood. Since that is the case, I'll help you get rid of this obstacle. He looked down at me. Did you hear that? From today on, you can only listen to me, understand? I am your everything, get it? I didn't get it, but I didn't say anything either. Gucci really hurts when he hits people. I didn't dare provoke him. Oh my little ancestor. You are finally back. That person in the front hall has arrived. The master is looking everywhere for you. Just arriving at the GU residence, the servants rushed over. Gucci's expression changed, and for the moment he couldn't care about me. His people locked me in the woodshed. Taking advantage when no one was watching, I rushed right out, but before I'd gone far, I was caught up with. In desperation, I grabbed the sleeve of a passerby. Save me! The other person froze for a moment, and suddenly everything around became quiet. I only heard a thud. Those people chasing me all knelt on the ground in unison, their faces deathly pale. Are you talking to me? A pleasant voice came through, yet it inexplicably made my heart tremble. My fingers unconsciously loosened. I was about to shake my head when I caught sight of Gucci rushing over in haste. Chen's signing, get your ass over here. He glared at me through gritted teeth, his eyes seeming to hold 2 clusters of raging flames. I retreated a few steps, only to bump right into that person's embrace. Summono, take her away, and keep her under strict watch, Gucci ordered sternly. I turned around and wrapped my arms around that person's waist. Yes, I am talking to you, please, save me. The sound of sharp intakes of breath suddenly came. They seemed to have witnessed something terrifying. I don't want to be beaten again. Nor do I want to become Gucci's concubine. Back at the Marquise's estate, a concubine who was on good terms with me was given to a stable hand by the Marquis just for eating an extra piece of pastry. By the time I finally found her, she was already dead. At that time, Xueying told me. She is a lowly concubine. That pastry was meant only for my mother to eat. Overstepping boundaries requires punishment. That is the rule. He spoke in such a gentle manner, yet it sent chills through anyone listening. Thinking of this, I hurriedly grabbed that person's clothes and looked up. I don't want to be Gucci's concubine. I don't want to be killed. Please save me. The other person looked down at me, looked for a long while, then suddenly smiled. You are Chen Xueying, from the Chen family of Jinzhou. Gucci walked forward a few steps at this moment, moving closer to speak with that person. Uncle, don't bother with her. This little bitch has offended you, just leave her to me. I know who he is now. It is Guhan, the renowned general famous throughout the land. Seeing Guhan remain silent, Gucci suddenly gripped my shoulder, and immediately my whole body fell toward him. At the critical moment, an arm suddenly appeared around my waist. Crack! I saw Guhan with one hand gripping Gucci's wrist and the other arm around my waist. Gucci's face turned red, his forehead covered in cold sweat, staring at Guhan in shock. Guhan's gaze swept over, and everyone consciously lowered their eyes. Did I tell you to touch her? Gucci's expression looked terrible. Uncle may not know. This girl is quite fierce, relying on the protection of the Marquise's manor to do evil as she pleases. I am just worried she might offend you in the future, Uncle. If Uncle likes beauties, I hiss. Before he could finish speaking, he gasped again, looking at Guhan in disbelief. Has the Gu family run out of people, letting a shallow thing like you bare your fangs and claws in front of me? Gucci's brows furrowed tightly, but he didn't dare speak again. Guhan abruptly released his grip and turned his head to look at me. Where did all the injuries on your body come from? I swiftly pointed at Gucci. He hit me and said he wanted to toy with me, wanted to make my life worse than death. Gucci unconsciously took 2 steps back. What is going on here? Not far away, the elder Lord Gu walked over. As soon as he got close, he kicked Gucci pressed down on his shoulder and made him kneel on the ground. Unfilial son, hurry up and kneel down. Don't you know your own place, daring to act presumptuously in front of your uncle? Only after speaking did he extend his hand toward Guhan. The east courtyard has already been tidied up for you, and a banquet has been prepared for tonight. Why don't you stay at home for a couple of days this time? Guhan glanced at him and did not extend his hand to make contact with Lord Gu. Instead, with just a look, the person following behind him stepped forward and tied up Gucci. What are you doing? The child made a mistake. Just teach him a lesson. Why hurt the family's feelings? Lord Gu's face turned cold. Then he looked toward me. She is just a little girl. She does have some looks, but if you like that, I can find you 8 or 10 of them. Why bother? Guhan directly interrupted him. However Gucci hit you, you hit him back. If your hand hurts, have him do it for you. He was referring to the attendant beside Guhan, tall and burly, clearly strong and powerful at a glance. Are you really going to tear apart our relationship over a girl of unknown origin? Lord Gu hastily opened his mouth, but Guhan let out a cold laugh. Lord Gu has been thriving in the capital by riding on my reputation. It seems he has forgotten about throwing me and my mother out of the house on that snowy winter day all those years ago. So you are not here to visit relatives, you are here to cause trouble. Lord Gu spoke in disbelief. Guhan paid him no more attention. He directly tied up Gucci and left with me. This place, tear it down. You wouldn't dare. This is a residence bestowed by His Majesty. How dare you defy the Imperial decree? I am going to the palace to see the Emperor. I am going to. Before he could finish speaking, a eunuch from the palace appeared, carrying an Imperial edict. He nodded at Guhan, then moved past him toward Lord Gu. Eunuch Chang, your timing is perfect. Guhan actually dares to touch a residence bestowed by His Majesty. He really is. Gu Gongjin, how audacious of you to dare deceive the Emperor. Do you acknowledge your crime? Eunuch Chang's shrill voice made me instinctively stop in my tracks and look back. I saw that everyone from the Jiyu family was kneeling on the ground. Gucci stared at Guhan with eyes full of resentment. What exactly do you want to do? What good does it do you to destroy the Jiyu family? Which prestigious family in the capital doesn't have deep-rooted connections? Don't tell me you, Guhan, think you can stand alone as a single tree. Guhan looked at him deeply. Everything I have was earned by cutting down enemies one blade at a time. When did it become your pack of dogs' turn to fight over it? Remember, Guhan is Guhan. He has nothing to do with the Jiyu family. Gucci's face turned ashen. This was the first time I'd seen him so flustered. Before, even when beaten black and blue by Xueying, he would always keep his back straight. I am a member of the Giyu family. My uncle is the famous war god. When he comes back, just you wait. One day, I'll make you kneel down and call me Grandpa. I looked at Gyuhan again. Xueying told me to get lost, but I didn't know where to go. What if I followed Gyuhan? At least Gucci wouldn't dare hit me anymore. I returned to Guhan's general's manor. Gucci was tied up tightly and thrown in front of me. Guhan sat in the main seat, glancing at me. Go ahead. I shook my head. Can I change my wish? He froze, confusion flashing across his face. When did I let you make a wish? When I wanted to beat up Gucci. You let me hit him. Wasn't that fulfilling my wish? Guhan froze for a moment, then shook his head helplessly. Then tell me, what is your wish? Can you marry me? With a clatter, his teacup fell to the ground. Even Gucci stared at me in disbelief. What did you say? Guhan spoke again, his normally calm eyes filled with shock. I don't understand what he has to be surprised about. So I said it again. Will you marry me? I may not be smart, but I can embroider and make clothes. I'll work hard to be a good wife. Guhan was bewildered. My wish seemed to put him in a difficult position. If you are not willing, can you find me a husband? Mother said I am not smart enough and need someone to take care of me. But don't worry, I definitely won't be a burden to my husband. Ladies, this is the bold dating energy we need to channel. Xueying told her to go find another man, and our girl took it literally. She didn't cry in her room. She walked straight up to the most powerful, gorgeous war god in the capital, and shot her shot. Marry me, I make great pancakes. I am screaming. General Guhan didn't stand a chance against this level of adorable, unbothered audacity. Over the years, I've learned quite a few things. I am really good at arithmetic, and I can make pancakes. I counted on my fingers, listing my strong points. I even told Gyuhan that Huang from the Marquise's manor likes me. Who do you think he is? He is the iron-blooded general. If it weren't for finding an excuse to teach me a lesson, you think he'd care about you? Gucci scoffed, and turned to look at Guhan again. My grudge with Xueying formed because of you. Back then, when he publicly said you betrayed us, I beat him up. This little bitch is Xueying's fiancée. You'd better kill her. Otherwise, the Marquise's manor will definitely make a big deal out of this. Uncle, we're family after all. We all share the surname Giyu. If you have any grievances, just say it. Seeing Gucci blabbering on and on, I got so anxious, afraid that Guhan might actually listen to him. I hurriedly raised my hand. I won't betray you either. I listen to my husband the most. With a single look from Guhan, Gucci's mouth was shut, just as I breathed a sigh of relief. Guhan looked at me again. Change your wish. I was a bit troubled. In that case, let's just give him a beating. Gucci just told Guhan to kill me. That kind of person is really too despicable. And so, the room was filled with Gucci's agonized screams. I had a wound on my face, so he had to bleed in the same spot. I had a bruise on my waist, so his waist had to be crippled. Anyway, in the end he was carried out, and I changed into new clothes and applied ointment. The maid said the Giyu family home was demolished. Not a single brick or tile left, remembering that Gucci took the jade pendant from me, the one Xueying gave me. This is an engagement token. You must keep it safe, and not give it to anyone. Understand? Now that I am no longer his fiancée, I definitely need to get the jade pendant back and return it to Xueying. But I didn't expect to run into Xueying at the Giyu family's gate. His expression was terrible when he saw me, and he gripped my wrist forcefully. Old wounds plus new wounds, the pain made me tremble. Let go. Xueying's eyes widened sharply. You are talking to me. Yes, I am talking to you. I pushed him away. Since he is no longer my fiancé, naturally I can't let him hold my hand. But Xueying got angry. When he is angry, his eyes look like they could devour someone, like a monster. Chen Signing, have you forgotten your place? Just one afternoon, and look at what you've done to yourself. Got into another fight. You are such a troublemaker. You need to learn a lesson. Without me protecting you, at this moment the Giyu family was being driven out in a sorry state. I couldn't care about Xueying anymore, and immediately rushed over. Gucci, where is my jade pendant? Gucci was being carried by people when he saw me. His pupils shrank sharply. He glanced behind me, then spoke. You want it. Then have Guhan return everything from the Giyu family. What does this have to do with Guhan? You stole my stuff. And also, Chu Haoen grabbed my arm, his face dark. What are you talking about? What jade pendant? What Guhan? The betrothal jade pendant you gave me was snatched by him. Chu Haoen's expression changed. So you got into a fight with him? Just to get back the jade pendant I gave you? Are you hurt anywhere else? He grabbed my injured wrist again, and I angrily shoved him away. You already held Zhang Xueying and told me to get lost, so don't touch me anymore. Once I return the jade pendant to you, we'll have nothing to do with each other. Gucci sneered and looked at Chu Haoen. Did you hear that? Your little fool is quite something. Actually latching on to Guhan, HKTSK, flirting and seducing, offering herself to his bed. The wife raised by young Master Chu, truly. Before Gucci could finish speaking, Chu Haoen's fist came swinging at him. I don't believe a single word you said. You stole her jade pendant, and she beat you up like this. You deserved it. The jade pendant was something I gave her, so naturally Ninging treasures it. I just didn't expect that when someone gets really angry, they can explode with such strength. Chu Haoen looked at me with a very complicated expression. With a single glance from him, the Marquis Manor's people stepped forward to search Duqi. The other members of the Giyu family were too busy saving themselves and stayed far away. After Chu Haoen found the jade pendant, he handed it back to me. What I said this morning was indeed too much. Don't worry, I won't abandon you. There will always be a place for you by my side. Gucci wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and spoke with a mocking laugh. What he means is, you can only be a concubine. See, you'd be better off choosing me. At least I won't beat around the bush and string you along. Chu Haoen forcibly pressed the jade pendant into my hand, and I hurriedly stepped back. As soon as he let go, the jade pendant dropped to the ground with a thud. It split into two halves. I quickly waved my hands. This has nothing to do with me. I didn't touch it. You let go yourself. Oh, the schadenfreude is delicious. After emotionally abusing her for years, Chu Haoen tries to force his precious heirloom back into her hands, completely missing the fact that she has moved on. When she dodges and lets it shatter, absolute cinema. Her immediate reaction isn't heartbreak, it is don't look at me, I am not paying for that. We do not accept broken gifts from toxic exes. Say goodbye to the sunken cost fallacy, besties. I heard the jade pendant was a family heirloom. If they made me pay for it, I definitely couldn't afford it. Chu Haoen's face darkened even more. You are dodging me, Chen Xueying. Is what Gucci said true? Did you really go looking for someone like Guhan? What kind of person is this general? The sudden voice made everyone look over. Guhan dismounted from his tall horse, his gaze sweeping over Chu Haoen. Chu Haoen instinctively took a step back, but Guhan had no intention of letting him off. What kind of person does young Master Chu think this general is? Chu Haoen glared at me, then hurriedly clasped his hands toward Guhan. This official wouldn't dare. The general is naturally a dragon among men, a pillar of the nation. Guhan's gaze swept over the jade pendant broken in half on the ground, and he spoke indifferently. Just for this broken jade pendant, you didn't even care about your injury. These words were directed at me, but Chu Haoen stepped forward and reached out his hand once again. But this time, I dodged in advance. Chu Haoen grasped at empty air and said in a suppressed voice, "We'll talk about our business when we get back. Stop making a scene." I moved further away from him and spoke indifferently. Go back where? I have nothing to do with you anymore. Mother told me to listen to Chu Haoen's words, and I listened to everything except when he told me to get lost. But after telling me to get lost time and again, I have a temper too. What is more, he'd already embraced someone else and had another wife, and I won't be a concubine. Chu Haoen took a deep breath and said through gritted teeth, "Then who do you want to be involved with?" The illustrious war god and expeditionary general, is he someone you can aspire to? Chen Xueying, don't forget your own status. His gaze was terrifyingly cold. I unconsciously shrank back. Actually, this isn't the first time he has looked at me with such eyes, but I endured it before, because Mother said he was my husband and I had to obey him. Thank goodness, thank goodness. Now he is not anymore. I finally don't have to put up with him anymore. None of your business. I dodged away some more. Anyway, I won't be your concubine. Don't tell me you still want to be the legal wife. Chen Xueying. You are a fool with nothing to your name. What are you dreaming about? Without me, who else would want you? In all of the capital, who doesn't know you belong to the Chu family? He really makes no sense when he talks. But I am not good with words, and for a moment I didn't know how to argue back. I was so angry that tears came out. Just then, a figure suddenly appeared before my eyes. Guhan shielded me behind him with one hand. If it weren't for the favor the Chen family did back then, your father's marquise title might not even have come through. What they entrusted an orphaned girl to you, and when she is of no use, she is just a concubine to order around as you please. But there is one thing Lord Chu got right. Everyone in the capital knows that back then, it was your Chu family who begged to marry her. As soon as Guhan's voice fell, everyone couldn't help whispering among themselves. The great general is right. Back then it was Lord Chu who knelt at the Chen family's door, begging to marry Miss Chen. That is right. Otherwise Miss Chen would have been taken into the palace and raised under the Empress's care. By now she'd at least be a princess. Why would she need to suffer such indignity? Putting it that way, the Marquis manor really is ungrateful. More than that, they're bullying her because she is a fool who won't seek justice. Delaying until she is all grown up. It is clear they want to torment her. Xueying's face was quite a spectacle, showing all sorts of colors. He looked around and seeing no one would speak up for him. Chen Xueying, what do you think? This is a matter between you and me. If you apologize, you can still follow me in the future. I'll protect you too. But if you side with outsiders, then from now on, the bond between us is severed. Think it through carefully. Don't forget you've never left me. I tilted my head and looked at him, somewhat confused. But wasn't it you who told me to leave? I was just doing what you said. I told you to leave so many times before. Which time did you actually leave? This isn't the time for this nonsense. He was getting anxious, but everyone else wore expressions of sudden realization. And here I thought the Marquis manor treated her so well. Turns out they've driven her away many times in private. This young Master Chu acts all righteous, but protecting his fiancée is just empty talk. Guess rumors can't be trusted. I think he is purely rotten, treating a perfectly good young lady like this. Xueying left in exasperation. Before leaving, he warned in my ear, I'll see just how long Guhan can protect you. When the time comes, even if you beg me, I won't spare you a glance. I ignored him. If Guhan doesn't want me, I'll just find myself a new husband. Actually, it is not that difficult. I think that attendant beside Guhan is pretty good. When he beat up Gu Qi, the other guy couldn't even fight back. But when I suggested having him become my husband, he was so scared his face turned ashen, and he dropped to his knees with a thud. I turned around to see Guhan looking at me with an inscrutable expression. Are you really that desperate to get married? I thought for a moment, then nodded. Mother wanted me to marry Xueying. I am already 22 now. If I don't get married soon, Mother will blame me, just because of that. Guhan seemed quite helpless. I looked over blankly. What else could it be for? If I can't fulfill Mother's dying wish, how will I face her in the future? Forget it. Why am I even talking to you about this? Guhan sighed helplessly and muttered to himself. He had someone dress me up properly, then took me into the palace. This wasn't my first time at the Imperial palace. Before Mother passed away, she brought me here once. She even had me meet the Empress and told me to call her Aunt. That was Mother's best friend. Now, Guhan was also bringing me to see Aunt. The Chu family has such audacity. After Guhan briefly explained what happened outside, Aunt slammed the table hard. People were kneeling all over the floor beside us, so I knelt down too. But Guhan grabbed me by the back and pulled me up. Aunt's expression softened, and she reached out her hand toward me. Good child, rest assured, Aunt will see justice done for you. Time really does fly to think you are already 18. Aunt has been negligent. Attendants, convey my decree. I walked behind Guhan holding the Imperial decree. Miss, please follow this servant this way. The nanny behind me suddenly spoke. I paused, looking toward Guhan with difficulty. He nodded, and only then did I follow the nanny away. but the nanny was taking me to the Chu family. The Chu family came out to greet us, and Xueying was among them. The nanny stood in the position of honor, pulling me to her side. Had General Yuan Zheng not brought Miss Chen into the palace today, Her Majesty would never have known how audaciously reckless you Chu family have been. Back when Madame Chen was on her deathbed, it was you who vowed to treat Miss Chen well. And now look, where is the promise to marry her as the legitimate wife? The Marquis immediately changed his expression and hastily said, "It is not that we won't marry her. It is just that an auspicious date is difficult to choose. It is precisely because we dare not betray Madame Chen's dying wish that we take this so seriously. I know you need not explain so much to me. Her Majesty the Empress has her own judgment on this matter. Receive the decree." The Imperial decree went on for quite a while, but I only heard the last few words. Choose a date for the wedding. The Marquis received the decree and respectfully saw the nanny off. When turning back to look at me, her gaze was cold. Ninging doesn't understand anything, yet she knew to go complain to the palace. Rest assured, your marriage with Xueying will definitely be completed within a month. After saying that, he flicked his sleeves and left. Madame looked at me and sighed. Say you are stupid, but you actually know how to play tricks. The Chu family hasn't treated you badly these years, yet you backstabbed us. She left too, leaving only Xueying looking at Xueying with teary eyes. Xueying stared at me with disgust all over his face. Are you satisfied now? If you hate me, just come at me. Why ruin the Chu family's reputation? Chen Signing, I am so disappointed in you. I wanted to find Gu Han to get some answers. How did I suddenly become Xueying's fiancée again out of nowhere? I clearly wanted to find another husband, but the people in the manor wouldn't let me go out. The Marquis has given orders that without his permission Miss cannot leave. I went to find the Marquis, but he refused to see me. I went to find Madame, but she just kept telling me to wait. Until Xueying came to find me. Acting like this will only make them detest you more. I looked over in confusion. She continued. I originally thought you weren't worth worrying about. Who knew you, little fool, would bring trouble upon yourself? Looks like the Chu family has been too good to you all these years. A little fool who could just die from catching any random illness. But it doesn't matter. They'll soon know how to treat you properly. I really didn't like the look in her eyes, but she suddenly grabbed my hand and pulled it toward her hair. Right after I heard her pained voice. Miss Chen, please calm down. I really didn't seduce the young master. He and I are innocent. Don't do this, please. Don't Chen Signing, you've lost your mind. I was pushed away by a great force, my back hitting the pillar. It hurt so much. Xueying spoke with a wronged tone. I am sorry. I shouldn't have appeared here and caused Miss Chen to misunderstand. I only admire the young master, but nothing has ever happened between us. Since the young master is going to marry you, I certainly won't pester him anymore. After saying this, she bit her lip and looked at Xueying. During this period, Xueying has been an intrusion. She turned to leave, but her body swayed downward and was caught by Xueying. Then, she was carried away by Xueying again. From then on, Xueying came to the residence every day, holding hands and embracing with Xueying. Sometimes they even secretly kissed. At the same time, the household was also preparing for my wedding with Xueying. But I was very worried because I no longer wanted to marry him. You already know, don't you? On this day, Xueying suddenly appeared behind me. What? I stared over blankly. It doesn't matter if you know. You little fool, you can't change anything. I'll tell you the truth. I'll enter the door on the same day as you, but I'll wear crimson red, and you'll wear peach red. Do you know what that means? Anyway, once the bridal veil is lowered, no one will know who is who. I didn't know what she was talking about. Xueying sneered. It means I am the main wife, and you are the concubine. No matter what outsiders think. Within the Marquis' manor, everyone will recognize me as the young master's wife. Oh right, that general who stood up for you is about to leave the capital. When that time comes, once the Marquis Manor's gates close, I'll let you know what it means to have no one to appeal to. So cold, I shivered. Xueying laughed gleefully. Little fool, when the time comes, don't blame me for being ruthless. I won't let anyone threaten my position. Watching her departing figure, I had an urgent desire to escape. But when I finished packing my bundle, Xueying actually came. He held the jade pendant he had given me before and handed it over. I've already had it repaired, wear it properly, and don't lose it again. I didn't speak, only looked at him warily. Xueying froze for a moment, Ninging. Don't look at me with those eyes. After speaking, he sat down and poured himself some tea, saying to himself, I still have feelings for you, but I need a normal wife. I am sick of being mocked and teased all these years. If I marry you, I might not even be able to keep my position as the young master. Ninging, as long as you behave, I promise I'll always protect you. Okay. He suddenly grabbed my shoulders. The light in his eyes was too intense, forcing me to turn my head away to avoid it. Forget it, I suppose you wouldn't understand anyway. You just need to behave and do as you are told. I won't let anyone hurt you. Xueying seemed very sad. He stared at me for a long time. If it were before, I would definitely give him a big hug. Like Mother used to do, pat his back gently and tell him, it is okay. Ninging is here and will always be with you. But right now, I didn't do that. He already has a new wife. This isn't something I should be doing. Can you? Xueying started to speak, but suddenly saw Xueying entering the room. Xueying, I've been looking for you everywhere. Your mother said the betrothal token is with you. Why did you give it to her again? Xueying saw the jade pendant in my hand. Looking completely hurt, Xueying immediately snatched it away. I was also looking for it. This should have been yours all along, but the jade pendant is already broken. Though it has been repaired, there are still cracks. How about I have a better one made for you instead? Xueying spoke considerately. No need. This one is perfect. She happily took it, and Xueying instinctively looked toward me. I actually felt relieved, otherwise I wouldn't have known how to return it to him. After they all left, I finally pulled out my bundle from under the bed. Taking only 2 changes of clothes and some loose silver, I crawled out through the dog hole in the wall. Only a Huang and I knew about this place. What a pity I couldn't take a Huang with me. It wasn't my dog. I didn't know where to go, so I headed toward the dock. Mother said the ships at the dock could take you to far away places, but in the dead of night, all the ships were pitch black, so I could only wait. Wait for daybreak. I was awakened by noisy sounds, and when I looked up I saw quite a few people already standing at the dock. Have you seen this young lady? The Marquise's household is looking for someone. Have you seen her? It was people from the Marquise's household. I instinctively shrank back. Seeing a boat not far away, I quickly ran over and jumped onto it. Who are you? My neck felt ice cold, and when I turned around, I met Guhan's eyes. He shook his head at his attendant, and the other person immediately withdrew the longsword from my neck. Guhan looked me over, then glanced toward the dock. What are you doing? Didn't you want to get married? I was so angry my eyes turned red. I do want to get married, but I don't want to marry Xueying. How could you not care about me? Bringing this up made me feel extremely wronged. Guhan frowned, and then only the 2 of us remained in the cabin. Is he not good to you? He asked patiently. And I was bewildered. If we're talking about before, Xueying was indeed good to me. Whenever there is anything good, he'd think of me first, and wouldn't allow anyone to say anything bad about me. But from some point on, he stopped being that good to me. Chen Xueying, you little fool, do you understand or not? I've told you, stop following me, stop following. Didn't I tell you not to go out? They tell you to come out and you come out. Fool, got beaten, didn't you? Serves you right. You'll learn your lesson from now on. Guhan never did get my answer in the end. So where are you planning to go? I thought for a moment, then said, Jinzhou. Mother said she was from Jinzhou. I want to go find her. Your mother has already passed away. You won't find her even if you go to Jinzhou. It doesn't matter. Then I'll look for where she used to live, until I die, and then go find her. Standing was so tiring, I found a spot to sit down. Guhan's gaze darkened, and he pointed to the soft couch nearby. The floor is cold, sit here. I moved over and shut my mouth, saying nothing more. They've already left. I'll hire someone to take you back to Jinzhou. After a long while, Guhan finally spoke. I tried hard to hold back my tears, nodding constantly, but he suddenly lifted my chin, frowning. What? Want me to take you there myself? Can you? Guhan agreed, and I was very happy, but afraid he'd find me noisy. I only dared to be secretly happy. If you want to laugh, just laugh. Don't hold it in. So I stopped holding back and tried hard to stretch my mouth into a smile. Why are you so good to me? He was stunned. Am I good to you? You are the third best person to me. He frowned again. Then who are the first and second best? The first best is my mother. The second best is Xueying from before. From before, yeah, from before. He is not good to me anymore now. I felt a bit sad. I must have done something wrong for him to be disappointed in me. I am really stupid, always messing things up. Madam also always says I can't help Xueying. Anna has been held back by her too. If only there was someone with a normal brain, even if their family background isn't good, I could accept it. Then what do I need to do to surpass the former Xueying and become the second best person to you? Xueying suddenly spoke. I snapped back from my thoughts and instinctively replied, be my husband, and you'd be the second best to me. Xueying was stunned for a moment, then suddenly laughed. He looks so good when he laughs, better looking than any man I've ever seen. For a moment, I was a bit mesmerized. If I had a husband like this to sleep in the same bed with, I'd be very happy, wouldn't I? Do you even know who I am, and yet you want me to be your husband? I know you. You are Xueying, the great general. You are really amazing. That is all. I nodded. That is all. Xueying suddenly sighed. The great general will be in great danger on the battlefield, could lose his life at any moment. And do you know what war means? It means killing people, killing many, many people. Xueying, I am not suited for marriage, and I am even less worthy of a girl like you. I put on a stern face and spoke unhappily. These are all excuses, Mother said. Everyone will die, it is just a matter of sooner or later. If you die, just wait for me. Wait for me to die and come find you. I'll secretly tell you. My mother is waiting for me too. She told me not to rush, to take my time. She'll wait for me forever. This was a secret, even Xueying didn't know. Xueying stared at me for a good while, his eyes reddening. I tilted my head and looked at him. Besides, they all say I am a fool, that I am not good enough for, but you are much more capable than Xueying. How could you not be good enough for me? You must be tricking me. I may not be smart, but I am not that stupid, okay? As for killing people, are they all bad people? If they're all bad people, then aren't you doing a good thing? My face grew hot. Xueying's palm cradled my face. His palm was warm and dry. I nuzzled against it with my face. Mother said, if you touch my face, you have to marry me. Mother never said such a thing. I was lying to him. Xueying looked at me deeply and let out a chuckle. Really? I nodded frantically. Of course it is true. I don't lie. All right, I'll marry you. Xueying agreed. The cabin door was suddenly opened by someone. His attendant seemed to have heard and completely froze. General, why was he stuttering now? Xueying spoke. Have someone send a letter to the palace. I am going to marry Chen Xueying of the Chen family. Send people to the Marquis Manor. The dowry the Chen family left for her years ago must be retrieved from the Marquis Manor. Every single item. As for the wedding, let's hold it in Jinzhou. After speaking, he looked at me. Is that okay? Of course it is okay. This way Mother will know I am getting married. She'll be very happy. From then on, I was happy every day. Xueying said His Majesty gave him a month's leave and also sent me several chests of jewelry. When the chests were opened, they glittered with gold, ridiculously beautiful. A lot of news from the capital was sent over, all delivered to Xueying. He didn't hide it from me, so I knew everything. The Chen family's dowry back then was 188 carriers, and even the Empress added to the dowry. This time, when His Majesty issued the edict ordering them to return the dowry, the Marquis Manor's world collapsed. I heard there isn't much left. Some was exchanged for fields and estates. Some was given away as favors. The Marquis shamelessly went to the palace to beg His Majesty, asking that for the sake of the Marquis Manor taking care of Miss Chen for many years. They could return less, but was driven out by His Majesty. Word came from the palace that if it weren't for the Chu family's affairs back then, that perfectly good daughter wouldn't have had her whole family killed by bandits. Not only does the Chu family show no gratitude for this matter, but they even want to greedily seize her dowry. It is truly shameless. The person talking to Gu-han stole a glance at me, their face seemingly sympathetic. I smiled. Some things they did ask me about, and I agreed to let them take. Do those have to be returned too? Gu-han patted my head. Of course, even if you married him, he still couldn't touch your dowry. What about you? You can't either. Gu-han froze, his expression stiffening a bit. Though my general is poor, he hasn't reached the point of needing his wife to support him. I felt a bit disappointed. After all, that is about all I am good for. In the past, when Madame didn't like me, I would carefully select and send her gorgeous hair ornaments. If she was pleased, she would warmly pull me over to talk. Ninging is so thoughtful, it would be even better if you could be a bit smarter. But now, Gu-han doesn't want my things, so how am I supposed to make him happy? Soon I forgot about this matter, because Jinzhou really has such good food. It would be even better if I hadn't run. His prison cart passed by me, with the old and young of the Go family all inside, Chen signing. If he hadn't called my name, I definitely wouldn't have recognized him. When he got beaten by Gohan's men that time, I thought he was already miserable enough. Didn't expect him to be even worse off now, filthy like a stray dog, his hair all matted and stinking. I heard Gu-han is going to marry you? A ruthless and vicious person like him. How could he possibly marry you sincerely? Just you wait. One day he'll lay his hands on you too. You don't know this, but he personally killed his own father back then. My father was his own elder brother, and even he didn't spare him. You are just an idiot with no blood relation. How could he possibly like you? After saying this, Gucci started laughing loudly. But suddenly, he stopped laughing, staring behind me with a terrified expression. I turned around to see Gu-han had appeared there at some point. Seeing me look over, he handed over the cloak in his hand, draping it on my shoulders. It is cold. Why didn't you wear more when you went out? Didn't feel cold when I left, but your cloak came just in time. I took his hand, brought it to my lips and breathed on it, then rubbed it. Gu-han's hands are really rough. Rubbing them makes my hands hurt. Not taking them away yet? He spoke coldly, and the soldiers immediately took the Gu family away. Gu-han, when you personally harmed your own father, what did you feel? Gucci got hit. The soldier beat him while nervously glancing at Ji-Yuhan, afraid he'd get angry. But Ji-Yuhan wouldn't. He is a reasonable person, however. I heard that Gucci died in prison that very night. Lord Gu was so angry he coughed up blood. Gu-han didn't let me know about this, but I secretly overheard it. When the jailer was handling Ji-Yuqi's corpse, I sneaked over. I forgot to tell you during the day. My husband isn't a cruel and ruthless person. He doesn't hit me, and he protects me. Compared to you, he is way better. Mother said that bad people like you go to hell when they die. Finally finished saying it all. Felt so much better inside. But the moment I turned around, I ran into Gu-han appearing behind me again. Do you walk without making any sound? With a wave of his hand, the people nearby quickly left. Snow began to fall from the sky, petals landing on him one by one. It is you who was too focused and didn't hear. I do make sounds when I walk. But why are you arguing with a dead person? I pursed my lips and went over to hold his arm. Of course I have to argue. Can't let him talk nonsense in front of the King of Hell and ruin your reputation. Surprise flashed in Gu-han's eyes. Where do you get these strange ideas from? Strange. Don't you meet the King of Hell when you die? Mother told me that. She said she passed away after doing good deeds. So the King of Hell would be especially merciful and let her wait for me. She also said being alive is very, very good, and told me to make sure to protect myself. Gu-han's expression shifted, but I couldn't read it. Your mother was very good to you. Of course, she is the person who treats me the best. Gu-han held my hand as we walked home together. He asked again. What do you think killed Gucci? I found his question rather strange. A person like him, he deserved to die however he died. Wasn't it just karma catching up with him? Gu-han turned his head to glance at me, reaching out to brush the snowflakes off my shoulder. What if I had someone kill him? I stopped and tilted my head to look at him. Gu-han lowered his eyes without looking at me, his fingers unconsciously squeezing my palm. Is it too cruel? I quickly shook my head. Not cruel. Gu-han looked over leisurely. We're all part of the Gu family. His father is my older brother. I continued. But you don't have the same mother. Back when his father drove you and your mother out of the house, you stopped being one family, Mother said. People who look after each other are family. They only wanted to hurt you. He smiled. What else did your mother teach you? So much. My mother said I am not smart, so I need to be even more attentive about who treats me better. She also said, in this world you can only trust your own husband. But if your husband doesn't treat you well either, then leave. She also said, she left me some property. In Jinzhou, Guhan suddenly covered my lips, looking rather helpless. Isn't this a secret? I nodded, and he let go. I hurriedly said, it is with the innkeeper of the Jinzhou Grand Inn. He is a loyal servant of the Chen family. Generations have only been loyal to the Chen family. He also said if I have a child in the future, when the child grows up, then give the token to the child. Before that, don't give it to anyone. I finished saying it all in one breath. Guhan stared at me dumbfounded. I walked forward rather smugly until I left him half a body length behind. Only then did I turn around to look at him. Only then did Guhan start moving toward me. Why did you tell me everything? Because Mother said, Guhan is someone who values loyalty and righteousness, and can be relied on at critical moments. He paused beside me, lowered his head, his voice tinged with a bit of heaviness. But she didn't tell you to marry me, did she? No, that is because there was Xueying at the time, and also Mother felt you had too many enemies. It was more dangerous. Are you really a fool? Guhan bent down, suddenly leaned close, and pressed his forehead against mine. I unconsciously stood on my tiptoes, getting even closer to him, but he instinctively stepped back. Don't you call me a fool, I am not stupid. I am just not that smart, everything Mother said. I remember it all. The snow fell even heavier. Guhan held my hand, wrapped it in his palm, and said, yes, 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 you are not a fool. Ninging is the smartest. Then did your mother ever tell you about the connection between her and me? I felt a bit sad and shook my head. Before she could finish, she passed away. That day, it also snowed heavily, and people from the Chu family came. They looked at Mother, gave her the finest ginseng, and said many things. But after they left, the people around Mother discovered the ginseng was fake. Mother hurriedly looked at me. You saw wrong. The ginseng is real. Later, she held my hand and brought up Guhan. But before she could finish, she passed away. So, I don't know the connection between Guhan and Mother. My mother was snatched back by Father. When she got pregnant and gave birth to me, my half-brother from the same father was already 20 years old. Mother was beautiful, but Father quickly got tired of her and started having wicked ideas. That year when Mother came back covered in injuries, I realized what she had been through, so I drugged Father. But the Guyu family had no evidence, and that person was eager to inherit the family business, so he kicked me and Mother out. Then sent people to kill us on the road. At that time, it was your mother who saved us. Unfortunately, my mother still didn't make it. So, your family has a life-saving grace toward me. He explained in great detail. But I also have a life-saving grace toward Xueying. Is life-saving grace really that important? Guhan looked at me intently. At least for me, I'll do everything in my power to protect you. But I truly didn't expect that the last time I entered the palace, I nearly sent you into a wolf's den again. That was my negligence. I smiled. It is because they're too wicked, even Auntie can't keep them in check. Besides, after all these years in the Marquise's manor, aside from marrying Xueying, it would be hard for me to marry anyone else. I know all of this. Guhan said nothing, and led me through the door. Inside the room was much warmer. He again ordered someone to bring soup and watched me drink it all. You've had it hard. I heard him seem to reply very softly, but when I looked closer, he said nothing more, only stared blankly at the charcoal brazier in a daze. Half a month later, the new manor Guhan bought in Jinzhou was covered entirely in red silk. Even the stray cats passing by wore red vests. The steward said this was a great joyous occasion and was so excited that tears came to his eyes. Unfortunately, the day before the wedding, I ran into Xueying on the street. I didn't want to bother with him, but he excitedly blocked my way. Everyone says you are going to marry the expedition general. Is it true? He is a king of hell from the battlefield, hands dripping with blood. How could he be worthy of you? Come back with me quickly. I won't hold the past against you anymore. Do you know how hard I've been looking for you lately? Ninging. You've always been the one in my heart, don't make things difficult for me." He said a lot, but I couldn't listen to a single word. I only found it terribly noisy. Just then, a commotion came from outside, and a bright red sedan chair was carried past before my eyes. The common people congratulated one after another. "Congratulations, General. May you have a harmonious union for 100 years. Xueying snapped back to reality, a flash of joy crossing his face. "I knew it must be a mistake. How could someone like Guhan marry you? Xueying, who allowed you to use such methods against me? My marriage to you was decreed by the Empress Dowager Yu." I pushed him away and hurriedly chased after them. Tode's wedding was for a deputy general under Guhan, and I was supposed to attend the ceremony too. I'd been wandering the streets for too long earlier, and had actually forgotten about this. I had only run a few steps when Xueying grabbed my wrist. "Don't chase anymore. Even if you catch up, what can you do? How could Guhan want a woman like you?" I angrily shook him off, but Xueying gripped even tighter. People around us looked over, so he suddenly yanked me forcefully to his side and said in my ear, "Don't refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. That I came to find you already means I've postponed my wedding with Xueying. If you keep making a scene, I really won't care about you anymore." "Husband." Someone rode past on horseback, and I quickly shouted out. Guhan pulled the reins tight and turned to look over. As Xueying's face turned deathly pale, a long spear instantly pierced through his shoulder blade. Immediately after, I was scooped up into Guhan's arms as he bent down. Xueying was pinned to the ground by Guhan's men. I huffed at him. "You are really strange. One moment you say my husband doesn't deserve me, the next you say, I don't deserve my husband. But we're clearly a perfect match. You are the one who doesn't deserve anyone. Your whole family doesn't deserve anyone. If you dare grab my hand again, I'll chop it off." Believe it or not, Guhan looked at me sideways and nodded thoughtfully. He waved his hand, and Xueying was taken away. Guhan and I attended the vice-general's wedding. There were many people at the venue, but the way they looked at me held no sympathy, much less contempt. Instead, they all cheerfully called me sister-in-law. I was very happy, so I secretly drank some wine. But after just a few sips, Guhan caught me. Drinking really isn't good. I was still in a daze even when getting into the bridal sedan the next day. I vaguely heard someone talking. "There is someone behind us who has been chasing the bridal sedan shouting, 'Ninging, is that our general's wife?' I heard it is that person from the Marquise's manor in the capital who seized the dowry and wanted the madam to become a concubine. What a rotten heart. And that is not all. Didn't even respect the Empress's edict. I reckon now that the truth's come out, they're trying to save themselves." Soon, the ceremonial music drowned out everyone's voices. When my husband and I entered the door hand in hand, crying suddenly broke out, but the crying only lasted a moment before inexplicably disappearing. I secretly leaned closer toward Guhan. "Husband, what is he crying about?" "Probably lost something very precious and is full of regret." "Etsket, then he is really stupid. Good thing I didn't lose it. I have a husband." Later I found out, the one who cried that day was Xueying. He cried not because of regret, but because someone stepped on his hand and broke his fingers. The bones were shattered, the kind that can never heal. How nice. This way he'll never casually hold someone else's hand again. Karma didn't just knock. It came in with a bulldozer. Xueying spent the whole story casually grabbing the hands of the other woman, and violently pulling Ninging around. Having his hand permanently crushed outside her wedding to a better man is poetic justice. Ninging's reaction, "How nice. Now he can't hold other people's hands," is the ultimate accidental savage moment. She remains completely unbothered, just wondering when she gets to make babies with her hot husband. I nodded, then looked toward the gloomy sky outside. The general has gone on a campaign. He won't return until next year. Then can I go find him? The general has ordered that the border is dangerous. The lady cannot go there alone. I ate a grape and let out a sigh. How are we gonna make a baby if I don't go? The surroundings suddenly fell quiet. I noticed everyone had their heads lowered, as if holding back something. But the deputy general's wife said so. To make a baby you first have to sleep together. It must be that my husband and I haven't slept together enough. That is why I haven't gotten pregnant yet. All right, my gorgeous friends. Can we just take a collective sigh of relief for our girl Ninging? This story is the ultimate reminder that you should never let a man treat you like a burden in your own relationship. For years, Xueying gaslit her. He used her loyalty when it benefited him, but the second he wanted to upgrade to a normal wife, he treated our sweet heroine like an embarrassing secret. He kept tearing her down, acting like nobody else would ever want her. Classic narcissist behavior, am I right? But here's where the story gets so beautifully satisfying. Ninging might not be book smart, but she is incredibly heart smart. She remembered her mother's golden rule: if your husband isn't good to you, leave, and enter General Guyu Han, the ultimate walking green flag. He didn't see her as a fool to be hidden away. He saw a brave, fiercely honest woman, and he protected her with that glorious touch her and die energy. This is your daily reminder, ladies. Do not stay where you are, merely tolerated. Take your emotional dowry and go where you are celebrated. Ninging is out here living her best life, eating grapes and waiting for her devoted general, while her ex has a shattered hand and a lifetime of regret. Chef's kiss now. Grab your wine and get in the comments. The villain, who do you think was worse? The gaslighting ex Xueying, or the creepy cousin Ji the proposal? Could you ever be as bold as Ninging and casually ask a scary legendary general to marry you on the spot? The karma. What is the most satisfying instant karma you've ever witnessed a toxic ex receive? Let's dish. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more spicy ancient romance tea. Love you all.